One bit of racing we did get in, I did want to talk about first was the SRX event down at Eldora.
Yes.
I was fortunate enough to go and check it out. It was something I wanted to have, me and some other photographers. Our buddy Matt Alloway was hanging out with him quite a bit.
Yes.
Our friend Wayne Regal is actually the series photographer for them.
He
so
is.
for this 6-week stretch, he's kind of the guy for photos. And then Jacob Horde from the Ohio Dirt Track podcast, me and him were talking a little bit too. So a bunch of familiar faces. We all kind of just said, if this only happens once, we can at least say we were here.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out.
I think it'll happen more than once, because
I think so.
they've been doing, fairly decent.
Yeah, I think Knoxville was kind of the only iffy one as far as attendance go and stuff like that. But they got TV money and stuff like that. So,
and this will be what, the fifth one coming up this weekend?
Fourth.
Because
Stafford, Knoxville, Eldora, and they're all right in a row. Lucas Oil Raceway, or Lucas Oil Raceway Park now is what it's called. Yeah, in Indy. So
Indy
pavement is the rest of the rest of the stretch. So
who's the ringer this week?
Hell if I know.
Or Cody Swanson still. He could do pavement too.
Yeah. No, I forget who it was, but it was a cool event. It was something different to check out. Obviously, it was pretty cool. Tony Stewart won. I was actually hanging out next to Rich Foreman, who's the photographer for the USAC series, because Silver Crown was there. So he was taking SRX pictures too. Well, he obviously USAC sanctions the SRX deal. And me and him were both kind of like, whatever that last caution was, me and him were both sitting there kind of rooting for Cody, before we go out to the front stretch. But Cody Swanson, that is, we're talking about, he was the ringer in a backup car.
Was it one of those Phantom debris cautions?
Yeah, that's one thing, I guess, getting into the details of everything here is, this is I saw a lot of push and pull on this event, right? It's one of those, take it for kind of what it is. It's a TV event, right? It's got a live TV time slot on CBS. Things started at 8, like national anthem was at 7:40. Drivers were in cars, ready to fire them right at 8 o'clock. No, nothing wrong with that at all. So, the heat races were timed. There was 2:12.
I've seen that.
Well,
I watched last week's replay, but I didn't see anything from this week.
That was one thing that surprised me is, okay, they reached 12 minutes, they waved the white flag. No problem with that.
Supercross.
Yeah, not a big deal there. And then I thought between heat races they would like take a break or talk to. No, they just they invert them right on the track and ready to go for heat race number 2. So that was kind of cool. That's cool. Keeps things moving. But yeah, there were some like weird cautions, and then obviously there was times where there was a caution necessity. Like there was a bunch of cars that got wadded up in the one heat race, but it's TV, so hey, commercial break on top of it. So you find yourself at times they're doing laps, and you're kind of going, all right, what the hell's taking so long? Well, you got to remember live TV. So, it was some pretty cool features. Like, I didn't know much on some things because I was in the infield taking pictures and you can't hear what's going on. And sometimes it's like, it didn't seem like the broadcast was really patching through to the PA necessarily.
Oh, really?
It was, the house announcers.
I've seen that. James Hinchcliffe is one of the announcers. I did see, I shouldn't say I didn't see anything. I seen some of the highlights, and I seen when Hinch radioed Stewart during the green
and they said like, might be a motorsports first, we're going to try this because that's supposed to be part of the series.
He's like, hold on, I'm gonna pass Marco here, and see, hold on a minute.
So like that was something like I didn't know happened until after the fact, which is cool. It's
they're racing, and it's like an all-star type with Casper Neves and Willie T. Ribbs and
Kanan and Bill Elliott, Labonte.
Bill Elliott can't catch a break though. His car either breaks or he crashes, one of the two. Eldora hasn't been good for him in crashes. I remember back to the Prelude when he flipped down the front stretch.
He's but I'll tell you what, he probably had the second largest crowd pop. Everyone loved him. But
for sure.
It was an event that anyone could buy a pit pass for, which I was talking with Dwayne before we started recording. I thought, okay, it's a pit pass, but they're going to restrict some access here and there. And it wasn't. You can walk around anywhere. Media, especially, obviously, we were able to do maybe a little more than most, like, down the pit road between the heat race and the feature. I have a feeling this was the first event they really had to work on those cars a lot because they tore a lot of shit up.
It seems like they was banging them up a little more than what they usually do.
So I, was able to walk down wherever I wanted around the pit road. So, in and out, Ray Evernham's walking around. A couple guys got out. Not everyone did.
You have them say, "Hey, Elliot, thanks for Dirt Nerds or Dirt Nerds."
No, but I saw buddy Kyle Dybert got on.
I seen he got on TV. He's supporting Dirt Nerds full tilt, man.
I tried to avoid the cameras. It was funny. People were like, well, "I never saw you on TV. I see all these other guys." I'm like, I can see where the cameras are, and I stay behind them.
So. Well, and do you think? And I don't know, because like I said, I watched the replay of Knoxville last Sunday. Do you think maybe it tore some up because they're a little more comfortable in the cars? After being the second dirt race, and they got a little more brave. Maybe some of these guys that's not used to dirt, or
well, some of it. I mean, it was aggressive driving, like the one with Ernie Francis in the whatever it was, the second heat race. He just kept going right on Kanaan's ass on his right rear quarter panel and just kept driving. And
maybe he didn't have those special match tires.
Well, and he doesn't have a spotter to say, "Hey, you're in someone's ass," either. And I'm sure on the way those noses are, he can't tell. Those cars don't lift up or anything. Yeah. So he thought he was probably clear. When he went to turn left to go what he thought was to pass Kanaan, it spins Kanaan to the right. And Paul Tracy, though, on Bobby Labonte in the feature, he just flat out drove over him.
He kind of said that. He goes, "There's going to be a lot of Bobby Labonte fans hating me right now."
Yeah.
But that's Paul Tracy. If he didn't have controversy, I mean, he's kind of like the bad boy of the deal.
Yeah.
You got to have that, though.
Mm-hmm.
You do. You got to have your
TV. I think Ernie Francis Jr. has kind of got some of that as well. But they tore up a lot of shit. But I mean, that's what the cars are meant for. And that was another kind of point. A lot of people are like, "Those are glorified stock cars and this or that." And it's like, actually, I'd say they're less than a glorified stock car. As far as the technology under them, they don't have like crazy J bars. Really? They don't have a big moving suspension. They have a little bit. The left rear
says all like Eldora street size.
Yeah, the left. I'd say they're below that. I mean, the left rear, separates from the tire a little bit to give them the drive, but it's not anything near what
how they sound.
Street stock.
They
don't sound bad. I was like, I was worried about, not worried, but I was like, okay, these are gonna be like little pussy fucking V6s or something. And
kind of like when you drive.
Yeah, when they fired them up to pull them out on the grid, it was like, oh, I look at Jacob Horde, and I was like, those actually sound pretty badass, So
good.
That was cool. It's probably just a regular 350 in them, nothing crazy.
Yeah, I say I don't think they made them. I mean, they made them obviously easy to work on because they like right now they're already at Lucas Oil Raceway.
Yeah,
because they showed them lurking on the Bonnies in the infield that was all totaled. So they go from it's like a traveling circus almost.
Yep.
They leave Eldora, they go to the next venue, start testing and start working on all the stuff. So they got to make them pretty accessible to work on.
Yes,
and pretty easy to get stuff because you know, like I said, there's a lot of damage right now.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing, obviously, they have the TV deal. The crowd at Eldora was huge. Well, back to the pit pass thing we were talking about. So yeah, everyone can get a pit pass, but drivers really aren't that accessible just because as soon as they're on the grounds, they got a bunch of shit to do.
I see a driver's autograph session.
Yeah, so that the autograph session is good for 150 people.
Oh, really?
And you have to get an armband.
You
have to go to the SRX booth at a certain time. They start handing out armbands.
Oh, so just first 150.
That line was a mile long, so there was more than 150 that wanted it for sure. So then people start flooding to the pits, and I was like, it was definitely a different crowd. It wasn't diehard dirt fans, right? So people were just mobbing drivers as soon as they were in public. People with totes full of shit to get signed. There's people with die cast and all kinds of stuff in their hands hoping to get them signed. And I asked a couple people, and I said, man, I feel bad for these drivers. They get mobbed every time they step out. And they said, well, this is the worst it's been. Really? This is the busiest the pits have been, but in the first three races. So Eldora was kind of the first one where, Stafford was a huge crowd. Don't get me wrong, but Knoxville, I know the crowd was not as big.
And Eldora has probably got the easiest pit access of the three tracks have been at.
Yeah, and I don't
Knoxville, once you're in the pits, you're there.
Yeah, and I don't know the arrangement at those either, but
Eldora, it's easy because the other tracks don't have a tunnel that Elliott can fall down in.
Yeah,
slide,
and I don't know if I don't know how Stafford's even worked, if it was in the infield, and
I don't know either.
Like I said, maybe it was
maybe not.
Maybe they didn't have open of pits at the other places either. We'll talk about me falling on my ass in a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. It was a live TV thing, so like I always say, there's too many people with headsets on. there's too many people barking at you. You know, I was telling Dwayne the safety guys were a little overzealous. You know, oh, there's a car starting, so step back. It's like, come on, dude. I've been around this my entire life.
They only have a 6-week job, so they got to do it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the safety
Don't be
car,
a hater, Elliot.
The safety car got more laps on it than the race cars did. I felt like it was on the track more than anything, and couldn't tell you why half the time.
Profiling, styling, and profiling.
Apparently, they asked Wayne Regal for about 75 pictures too before everything, and he's trying to get pictures of drivers and stuff.
Oh,
kind of bugging them.
Crew?
Yeah. They wanted to pose in front of the damn truck together and get a group picture 75 times over. I don't know. It was kind of funny.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then there's a water truck on the track. Oh, watch out here. I'm like, shut up, dude. You're fine. Trust me. Been here my entire life. I'm not gonna get run over. I know the flag man. I told him I fell on my ass.
So too many people is not going to yell at you
or
want to interview with you. Robert Ballou did that to you, and you hate him forever. And I'll see those people.
I don't hate anybody, just you. Yeah, the other thing, like
the flagman is cool at Eldora, by the
way. To me, the one thing is it's obviously advertised as a Saturday night short track.
Right. Well, it's like an all-stars kind of,
but
not. Kind of like a spinoff of IROC.
Yeah, and it is cool for that, but it is a production to put on. I mean, there's 4 haulers there. 3 of them, are what the cars are staged under, awnings where everyone could work on them. There's another hauler in the back. Camping World has a big VIP, hospitality truck there, trailer truck. Actually, and then like the drivers, I think they're Camping World RVs. There's like 2 big, like $60,000 Montana fifth wheels that was like the hospitality area for the drivers,
right? And
like a big tour bus looking thing. So, and then the Goodyear trailers there, the VP Racing Fuels trailers there. So like it was like a pretty big production.
Well, I mean, they're for real racing, and just think, trying to tune up 12. Well, obviously they have more than 12
16,
cars ready.
Yeah,
because in case there's crashes or whatnot.
So it was, like just the cars and the equipment are one thing, but as far as production crew, there's all kinds of stuff like that, and people
don't realize how much behind the scenes stuff like that. Like you're saying, there's only 12 cars that are racing, but look at the production that takes. I mean.
And like, I don't know how many SRX people there were, but there was a shitload of them. I mean, people were, crew guys, and then random media people. I don't know what they did or didn't do. Again, saw them with headsets on, didn't see them do a damn thing the whole night, but I'm sure they're important to somebody. So, again, not for me to.
And they don't have spotters?
I don't think so. No,
okay.
I think Waltrip said something about you don't have a spotter telling me this or that. So
that's good.
He was critical about Francis running into everybody, and
you got to make it. You got to have some rivalries.
Yeah,
nobody will watch on TV. I've seen the Yahoo News on my Yahoo email, my work email. The first thing it says is it says something about drivers are pissed at Eldora SRX deal. Like, well, that's a nice headline. I click on. Paul Trage is like, I pissed off all the Bobby the Body fans. Then like, there you go, sell.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. Like it's good for what it is.
Do they do driver introductions?
They did driver introductions. Yeah.
Do they do the music like NASCAR does?
No. They did all that before 8:00. So the fans there saw it, but obviously when they cut the TV, it's time to go racing.
Right.
And the 2-hour thing's kind of nice because this isn't going to take more than 2 hours, right? We're getting this shit done whether we like it or not.
Right. Well, it's just like Supercross. It sounds like to me like they've took some of that in there. Supercross is time. They do some promotions in there.
And I wouldn't doubt it because they kind of looked at everything going on in motorsports to put this deal together. So it makes sense.
And being the first year, there might be a hiccup or two, but it sounds like they're getting it.
Yeah,
pretty good.
After the first week, they made changes. So,
Stewart's involved in it. He don't like mediocre.
No, yeah.
He sees something, but he's not afraid. He's got the balls to say, listen.
And he's got the control, obviously now they can make changes as they go.
Right. Exactly.
And some of the people I've seen criticizing drivers, like, kind of old has-been drivers, which I don't think anyone's a has-been, but for the first year, it's fine. Like, and I like Bill
Bobby the Bonnie is still very popular. Bill is popular.
Bill Elliott got the loudest crowd pop, like I said, or second behind Stewart.
And Willie T. Ribbs, he's popular. He was the most popular road race guy for a long time.
Yeah, and first
for
African
years.
American to start the Indy 500.
Yeah, exactly. Then he got into Indy. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of the idea is get a few of the older guys. There's some star power type thing.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's working just fine. I know some people are like, oh, they're a bunch of old drivers that used to race. Well, it's cool though. I don't care.
So
Scott Speed, he ran pretty well most of the night. Marco Andretti ran pretty well. Tony Kanaan, Elio Castroneves obviously just won the Indy 500. So
right.
A lot of cool names, diverse field. I think it's cool.
I mean, you have a few old guys in there. But like I said, there's Helio, there's Kanaan, there's Marco, there's Willie T. Ribbs, there's Billy, there's Tony Stewart,
Waltrip,
Cody Swanson.
Yeah.
I like how they bring in kind of the local, or I don't want to say local, but
the ringers.
Yeah, the ringers for that area, just like Bloomquist was at Knoxville.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Haley Deegan's coming back too. She might be coming back.
Yeah, there's 2 races Kanaan can't be at. I think Slinger is her next one.
That could be
up in Wisconsin.
But I thought she did damn good. Everybody was knocking her like, oh, well, they got, I don't know,
star power. Who gives a shit?
She beat all but Tony Stewart. So
yeah,
she must have done something all right because she beat your favorite driver.
Yeah, I think it's superstar racing experience. So it's about popularity and
exactly.
I mean, I think it's cool. I liked it. It was a cool event. The racing was actually really good too.
To me, I think it'll bring more fans.
Yeah.
To short track racing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of the goal of it too, is because TV deal has been a little successful.
Mm-hmm.
Now each week, more and more people are talking about it. I've heard all kinds of people talking about it. The popularity of it, you keep hearing more and more people talk about it. So here,
I got a lot of messages yesterday, and from people asking about it and what I thought of it, and was it
talking about
good?
Fremont. Everybody's like, who won the SRX? So we're walking around after races, and everybody's look,
Yeah, I mean, it's that's what we talk about NASCAR. Obviously, this has some dirt and some asphalt, but NASCAR, we sit there and we bitch and moan because NASCAR takes 3.5, 4 hours, 4.5, 5 hours some races, boring. And it's boring and drug out. This is 2 hours. We're on, we're on TV, but say we're not. Don't worry about TV. Say you're at the event. You can show up at 7:45. You're in your seat by 7:55, 8 o'clock. You're ready to go racing. And you're done by 10.
Now, and I didn't see, like I said, I didn't see a whole lot of it. What lap times are they turning? Do you know?
I didn't even pay attention because they didn't really. Because
I didn't know if they.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they.
It was. I'd say it's
talked about it.
It's better than the trucks were, but slower than the stock cars.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
like I said, the
cars sounds like to me is a whole hell of a lot better than the truck deal.
Well, and that's like people. Bitch about the cars. It's like you got to understand that's what you want though, because they're equal, they're low tech, they're simple, and every driver gets the same thing. That's where things get out of control is when you start getting higher tech and fancier shit on them. And this is like a basic, and
it's
4-gear transmission, 350 motor.
Go out and buy 16 cars.
Yeah, exactly.
That are racing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got some jack in this deal. I mean, they do. Like I said, look at the production and all the cars, parts,
Like I said, the Eldora stock cars are definitely fancier and higher end than those cars probably were.
Yeah.
So
still,
it was a good event. It was cool. I mean, like Dwayne said, it's one of those things where people's eyes are open.
Yeah.
People that like I said, NASCAR, who wants to go to, I'll say it, MIS, our local NASCAR track, pay $110 to sit up in the fucking stands halfway to the sun and watch a race for 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours.
Well, it's always 90 some degrees.
It's 8,000 degrees.
Yes.
You're halfway to the sun, and it's the most boring race ever. Or drive 2 hours south, Eldora, $35. You get a ticket. It's 2 hours. And, if you want to stay for the USAC Silver Crown race, you can.
Yes.
So.
And I found out at MIS, if you drink beer and eat eggs, like it's starting at 6:30 in the morning, usually by the time you're sitting there about halfway through the race, that heat really gets to you.
I don't doubt that. Yeah. And the sun never goes down.
It comes, it could lead to a bad experience.
I don't doubt that.
Just in case anybody is wondering.
Okay. Well, I don't think we asked. So thanks for sharing.
Well, I'd throw that. I like helping our fans out.
Yeah.
My stupidity does help some people at times.
But yeah, I think it was a good, cool event. Like I said,
yes.
For us dirt people, when it's a full televised thing, it changes things.
Well, and I like how they're doing a mix because you got some IndyCar guys, you got some road race guys, you got some, Stewart's been everything.
Yeah.
and you got some NASCAR guys, and then you bring in your, your Cody Swansons, your Haley Deacons, your Bloomquist, your
Brian
Brian
Browns.
Brown.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, it
so
was cool, and I think I'm really interested to see what next year is going to look like, because I think it's gone very well so far. Obviously, they got 3 races to go, but I think it's gone very well, and they're accomplishing what they want to accomplish. I think this Eldora race was a real big step for them, because it was the first. Stafford was big, but it was still new, right? The word wasn't quite out. Knoxville was, the crowd I don't think was as big as they would have liked, because Eldora's crowd was like the dream. I mean, it was a good sized crowd. Really weird when you roll over the hill and there's not that many campers there, though.
Right.
Like, it was not a sea of campers. If you ever want to go and camp, maybe next year will be busier, but there's plenty of room to camp.
That's good.
But the footing to move forward, I think, is there. So,
and maybe they'll do a few more cars too. I mean, because you could always bring in a couple more ringers. I mean,
I think if you get to 20 cars, then you could do two 10-car heat races,
or even if you get 16, 18.
Yeah,
and bring in maybe a couple. Like I said, it'd be cool to see like a Jerry Bowersock or far as like we talked, even we've been through it before. The handful of late model guys or sprint car guys. And
I think again, as they go forward, some things like that.
I wonder if they can ever get Steve Kinzer back in one.
I don't know. It'd be cool to get Donnie at Knoxville. I mean,
I think it'd be cool to get Sammy in one.
But it's hard to. Sammy would probably be a viable one, just because he's not racing as much. With the World of Outlaw guys, it's a little harder. But
exactly.
Yeah, it was cool. I approve, I guess, is how I would say it. I don't know. It wasn't.
And we all know you're a critical dick. So
it wasn't. It was. Like I said, I think they're accomplishing what they want to.
I think so too, and
it was refreshing. It was something different.
Yep.
It was a good race. Like I said, 2 wide, 3 wide.
They don't have it outrageously priced.
Nope. It's on TV too.
Yep. I mean, it's not outrageously priced. And like I said, even though there's not a lot of access to the drivers, there's still a chance that you might get close to them.
Yeah.